Hi. So it's a pedal of the day, um, and it's got to be one of my favourites because this is just brilliant. It all started with, well, I was going to say it started with this, but it didn't. It started with an auction. Um, I went to view an auction. I live in Sussex in England. There was an auction up at a place called Ardingly. And I was looking around it one day and I noticed there was this bunch of stuff that looked like it was out of someone's garage, but in it there were a box of transistors. And there was a yellow OC44 in there, and there was some OC75s. And I thought, I wonder what that lot's going to go for, number 175. I said, well, I must go and get them anyway, because, I might get them for nothing, I don't know. And anyway, the actual auction was the next day. So I was running really late. Then I get stuck in traffic. I'm running really late. Something, lot 175, lot 175. So I left the car on the grass outside the room, rushed into the auction room, and lot 174 is just finishing. Lot one is my lot. Lot 175 is coming up. So I've just put my hand up, bid, won it. Won the order. Oh, goodness for that. Fantastic. And then it comes to picking everything up at the auction. And I had no idea what I had actually bought. I had bought a mountain of rubbish. The most incredible amount of screws and bolts, bits of aeroplanes, all bits of old cars, and these 6 transistors I wanted. My wife, I don't know how she puts up with me. I filled the van up 3 times, bringing all this stuff home. My shed was ridiculous. But amongst the debris, there were a few little sort of what looked like pedal boxes. They're not. I don't know what it was meant to be. Part of a radio, I think. And it says on it, frequency converter. And it was just a cute little box with a switch on it. It converted the frequencies, I suppose, and a volume control, I guess. Anyway, it just so happened that I had a meeting with Steve Williams at Pig Dog FX, and I was, as I left, I looked at this in the pile of stuff, and I thought I'd take it with me. And I said, Steve, how about making me something in that? It's such a cute little thing. And a week later, actually, it was maybe longer than a week, whenever it was, a little later, I got this in the post, and I plugged it in to my Selma, and it's been basically on ever since. And it's one of Steve's amazing little treble boosts. Not a lot inside, but just the most fantastic sound. So a few months ago, we were doing some new cases, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool to make a treble boost? Because we've never made one. We've made the power boost and the overdrive. We've never made a treble boost pedal, and everyone's at it, making sort of range master copies and whatever. But I thought Steve sounds a bit different. It's almost like a sort of Rory Gallagher one, but it's more, I don't know. What Steve is brilliant at is getting a few transistors and squeezing everything that can come out of those components into a sound. It's really is quite a talent. So I said, Steve, why don't we make some cases and do a little run of treble boosts? And he said, yeah, I'm up for that. And I think we made 32 cases, and we went to Alan Murray and got him to do some of his amazing artwork. So the result is this fabulous duck egg blue treble booster, made in very small numbers, and it's the most wonderful thing. And I think if you've got any of our pedals, you really should get one of these. Now, we've just done our stock take. I think there's 16 left, so there's not that many. But then this is the first time we've really promoted the pedal. All I did was put it on the website, and we sold a few of them, but I haven't told anyone about it. I'm a little bit possessive about it, to be quite honest with you. But it's yeah, it's a wonderful thing. So so why don't we have a listen? Now the most interesting thing is about a lot of treble boosts is how they work in conjunction with something a bit cranked. So what I'm going to do is show you it with my my Sola on its own is a very clean but kind of middly sound. Steve's treble boost just takes it from there to just turns it into a real sound. If I want to be a bit more rock with it, so a lovely, sweet blues sound. Tonal change is quite subtle. It goes from ooh, kind of cocked sound to just a meatier fatter tone. So so that's what it does with a clean sound. The most amazing thing it does in a more modern setting, as opposed to a real sort of 60s blues setting, is when you use it in conjunction with another preamp or a cranked amp. So I'm just going to put in a preamp in front. So almost the equivalent of having my, you know, the gain up a little bit on a modern amp. And then this, pushing that. Explosive. Incredible, incredible. So I'll show you inside. You'll be amazed at the little circuit. Actually, it's a tiny little thing, but as I say, Steve's genius is what he does with this stuff. Where'd my knife go? There. It's a trusty butter knife. Showing Colorsound pedals, you need a good, blunt butter knife, always to hand. So, inside there's a real Dick Denny style treble boost circuit. This one is all silicon, and it's a really difficult thing to explain because some people say, well, there's only a few components there. It's, I mean, it's not one of our expensive pedals, but it's not a cheap pedal. None of our pedals are cheap. They're handmade here in England. You know, you've got the best guy in the world designing the thing, and you've got the best guy in the world making the thing. It's brilliant. What you're paying for is this incredible engineer making these components sound this way. And of course, you get a lot of love from us as well, which goes into every single Colorsound pedal. So I hope what we've made here as a brand new Colorsound SolaSound product gets to live alongside our other products and becomes a part of the Colorsound range. But for now, there's one of the first 25. 16 left if you fancy one. The SolaSound Steve Williams treble booster. Rock and roll.